Well, thanks for joining me today on the Big Blue Podcast. I am Greg Stone, Southeast Campus Provost, and normally I am here with our president, Dr. Lee Goodson. She's away today, so I have the privilege of sitting down with Kari Shults, who's Director of Marketing and Communication for Tulsa Community College, to talk about specifically the upcoming 50th anniversary, which you are kind of spearheading in many ways. So thanks for taking time to come in and visit.
Oh, of course.
I've seen you in tons of meetings lately, but we haven't really gotten to talk about 50th anniversary stuff. So let's start off by just talking about the big picture. What's the not what's the purpose of celebrating, but like what are the big things that we're hoping to achieve by recognizing the 50th anniversary of Tulsa Community College?
Yeah, great question, Greg. So what we're really trying to do is not only celebrate the college's history and the incredible milestones that we've had in the last 50 years, but celebrate our students and the student success and the impact we've had on the community for 50 years. TCC was started with workforce in mind, and for 50 years, or almost 50 years, we've been helping deliver that promise to make the economy better and have graduates out in the community with a family-sustaining wage.
So who are some of the people who are involved with both in the college and in the community who are sort of planning for the celebration? I mean, there was a great kickoff event, I guess in part to answer my own question, right? But Mayor Bynum was here, and his grandfather, former Mayor LaFortune, was here. Of course, Mayor LaFortune was mayor in 1970 when the college opened. Who are some of the folks who were involved in the planning for the event?
So great question, Greg. We have 4 different committees. We have the Gala Committee, which is going to take place for Vision Dinner in 2020, where we'll really amp up our regular college fundraiser and turn it into something special and memorable that is unlike what we've typically done. We have the Alumni Recognition Committee, which is co-chaired by Dr. Tom McKeon, the former president at TCC, and Cassie Reese-Tipton, who actually used to work in the foundation. Mm-hmm. And then we have the Employee Recognition Committee, which is co-chaired by Carol Messer, Bill Corbett, and Peggy Dyer. And then the Student Activity Committee, which is co-chaired by 2 former students, Kuma Roberts, who's with the Tulsa Regional Chamber, and Michael Willis, who's the Tulsa County Clerk. So we have those 4 committees. There's probably about 30 people made up within those 4. We have all 3 presidents, so we've got the rock stars of presidents on the committee. We have some elected officials, a lot of retirees. It's a really good mix of supporters for the college and everyone wanting to celebrate the next 50 years.
And part of that recognition is going to be, recognizing 50 outstanding graduates and former students, right?
Yes.
Who will be featured at the gala and
yes,
sort of revealed throughout the year? How's that going to work?
Yes. So right now we are soliciting nominations for our 50 notables, as we're calling them. So we're looking for 50 students who could be current or past students who've just done remarkable things. So while they were here at TCC, they were stellar, or they went on to do big and great things in the community. So if you know of anyone who fits that criteria, then you can nominate them online at tcc50.com. We have a website set up with a form. And then once we get a good list, which we have about 300 names so far, we're really pleased with the nominations. But, you always want more.
Yep.
And the committee will then break it down and identify. We have a ranking sheet, and we'll identify who we select as the 50 notable, and then we'll advertise them throughout the year. We've got that marquee at Southeast Campus, so we'll highlight them on that as well as on social media, and then in some of our college advertising as well.
Nice. And it's an easy-to-use form. I have nominated several of my former students, and I've nominated a few current employees who were former students. So it's an easy process to do.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the 50 notables is once they are identified for the gala, they will get to be part of that special event and will be recognized at that event. So they'll get recognized along with several hundred people that typically attend our fundraiser.
Awesome. Well, I'm Greg Stone, and you are listening to the Big Blue Podcast. My guest today is Kari Shults, Senior Director of Marketing and Communication for Tulsa Community College. We're talking about the college's 50th anniversary, which is coming up in 2020. We still have no original employees of the college who are still working here, but some who are still regularly involved in volunteering and many longtime employees who are still with the college. So it's a great way to recognize the long history of the institution and what it means to the city. Kari, what can employees do to participate in planning for the event? I mean, you talked about these committees that are already formed and working, but are there ways that current employees can get involved somehow if they have
Yeah.
stories to share? Or
Current employees can help us in different ways. So we've got the upcoming exhibit at the Tulsa Historical Society. So that'll run in August through March. And we're really excited to display TCC's history to the community. So if you have any old memorabilia, maybe an old transcript or diploma or a cool T-shirt that you used to wear back in the day, send me an email or notify us on the website, and we can collect that information and work it into the exhibit that is being planned right now. We're going to have an employee celebration, so we're working through details with that. And then there's going to be several student events throughout the year just to celebrate and have fun.
yeah, and to point out to our students sort of what kind of a legacy that they're really a part of. Just a really quick story, and I wish that Jolene were still here. Jolene is not a person. Jolene was a mannequin who, when I was a student here and was on the staff of The Connection, the student newspaper, our advisor at the time, Alan Weintraub, who was a marketing professor, had this mannequin from like a department store who was in the Connection office, and somehow years and years before, early staff had named her Jolene, and so, Jolene had various costumes throughout the year, and it was kind of you're giving me a weird look. It was a weird
sounds
thing.
a little creepy.
But Jolene was kind of our Connection mascot for a while, so had she still existed, she could maybe have
Played a part in the
she could
exhibit.
not have been in the exhibit.
But we are working to get a mannequin for the exhibit. But I think that's going to display Dr. Al Phillips' graduation regalia.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, we're
That's
trying
really
to
cool.
recreate his office and different things from the decades.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So can people also keep up with information about upcoming events at that same website?
Yes, so tcc50.com, and we haven't really started doing a lot of public announcements regarding the exhibit because it will not kick off until September, but around that time you should start hearing more and more about it.
Excellent. So I'll ask you the same question that we ask all of our guests, which is if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self some advice before you went off to college, what would that advice be?
Oh, that's easy. Study abroad. It is my biggest regret that I did not study abroad, so anyone who can, I highly suggest it because I regret it every day.
Where would you have wanted to go?
Maybe France.
That'd be a good trip. I've taken students abroad, but I never went on a study abroad trip. I'm similar to you. I wish I would have done a little bit more of that.
Yeah, me too.
But lots of chances for our students to do that. So, well, Kari, thanks for being here and giving us an update about where we are with 50th anniversary plans. And thank you for listening. I'm Greg Stone. This has been the Big Blue Podcast. Remember, you can catch the Big Blue Podcast each week in the week at TCC and on the Creativity channel at YouTube. And we will see you next time.